What's up, everybody? It's me, Joey P, Joe Pizzapia, back with another video here at Fantasy Pros. And make sure you like this video, share, and subscribe, because Fantasy Pros is giving you the best fantasy football content. And today's content, boys and girls, is about the risers and fallers. Yes, preseason is behind us. We have nothing but real football ahead of us, but we've also got a lot of drafts coming at you. So before we get to some of those drafts, I want to tell you about the guys whose stock is going up and whose stock is going, well, let's just say in the opposite direction. But before we get to the names on the countdown, make sure you subscribe to Fantasy Pros, because when you do, you can win this glorious Keenan Allen jersey thanks to our friends at PristineAuction.com. This Los Angeles Chargers Keenan Allen jersey can be yours. It's autographed, it's beautiful. All you have to do is be a subscriber to our YouTube channel, click that little bell for notifications till it goes ding, and basically just drop a comment below. That's pretty easy to win this jersey if you ask me. So go ahead, subscribe, click that bell for notifications, drop a comment, and just like that, the Keenan Allen jersey can be yours. So without further ado, let's head over to the list and see who's going in the right direction and see who maybe you should think twice about drafting in 2022. Let's kick things off here with an ADP faller, Ken Walker, running back for the Seattle Seahawks. Now, Ken Walker is dealing with a sports hernia injury, which he just recently had surgery for, and we're getting a lot of vagueness from head coach Pete Carroll. Stop me if you ever heard this one before. Making progress every day, we're hearing. It's just a matter of time, we're hearing. We're not that worried about it. Well, I'm a little worried because there's no timetable and the season starts next week. So Ken Walker has already slipped a few spots. I'm still playing the long game with Ken Walker. In fact, in a lot of ways, I kind of like the discount you're getting at him now, but you have to have a plan for at least the first month of the season, because right now, we're unaware whether or not Ken Walker is going to be ready anytime in September, let alone week 1 for our fantasy football rosters. So you can still draft Ken Walker, but just realize he is definitely an ADP faller in the last few weeks. The talent is there. You know Seattle wants to run the football. Just be leery and have a plan for the first month of the season if you do indeed draft him. Let's go with a riser for number 9, Julio Jones, wide receiver of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. All it took was Julio Jones getting one pass from Tom Brady, and now we're all very excited about the prospects of Julio Jones. He's a big-bodied wide receiver who could fill in the gaps of what's missing from the leftovers from Rob Gronkowski's offseason exit. We're talking those passes up the seam. We're talking those red zone targets too, which could be very, very valuable. Plus a lot of good buzz from Tom Brady on Julio Jones, which, of course, when Tom Brady says nice things, ADPs start to rise. It's not too much of an expensive investment at this point, but it is one that's starting to get a little bit more expensive. Still, Julio Jones right now, somewhere around the ADP of 143, is a pretty good investment, but just don't expect the Julio Jones of yesteryear. The Julio Jones news brings us to our number 8 person on the list, a faller, Russell Gage, same spot, wide receiver, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, a few months ago, Russell Gage was a player a lot of us were excited about. In fact, you were seeing him go in the top 100 players. Now that ADP has fallen out of the top 100 or into the 120s and 130s, and it's because of a couple different reasons. The first being Chris Godwin's health has steadily improved and a lot of good buzz, and the aforementioned Julio Jones presence in camp now certainly muddies the waters and the potential for Russell Gage in terms of target volume. Once that potential is kind of going in the wrong direction, if you've noticed, the ADP has kind of followed with it. So at this point, it might be wise to stay away from Russell Gage and take the dart throw on Julio Jones. Let's keep things going with the wide receiver theme. George Pickens, number 7, a riser, wide receiver, Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, George Pickens has had himself a pretty nice preseason, catching 8 balls for 84 yards and a touchdown. A lot of positive buzz coming out of camp from the coaching staff and from his teammates as well. And Pickens profiles like a true number 1 wide receiver in the future in the NFL based on body type and skill set. In fact, he could be moving up the depth chart sooner than later, and that's causing him to move up ADP as well, going from a player who is going undrafted to now a player somewhere around the 130 mark. That's a big jump for somebody like George Pickens, who's a rookie in an offense where maybe not a lot of expectations are on this year. However, if Mitchell Trubisky and or Kenny Pickett do emerge as an improvement over last year's Ben Roethlisberger's performance, then George Pickens could be a very worthwhile investment in your fantasy leagues. So if things are going well for George Pickens, maybe they're not going so well for number 6 on this list of the countdowns of risers and fallers, Chase Claypool, wide receiver, Pittsburgh Steelers, who is falling in ADP. The reason why Chase Claypool is starting to fade away a little in ADP is quite simple. Honestly, he's been a boom or bust player for most of his career, and now all the George Pickens buzz is starting to give people pause in drafting Chase Claypool at his current ADP, which is somewhere around the 110 mark. Now, Chase Claypool certainly has had some moments in the NFL, but as good as he's been in the great moments, he's been equally bad in the bad ones, which means you're basically getting all or nothing with Chase Claypool, and that's something a lot of people don't like to roster. If George Pickens starts to eat into more of those opportunities, it could be a real problem for Chase Claypool's return on investment in 2022. This is a player that is falling, and I think rightfully so, in drafts. Maybe you let him fall to someone else's roster instead. Let's take a quick break in the action to tell you about Pristine Auction. Pristine Auction is the most trusted sports memorabilia auction site with an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. Auctions at pristineauction.com start at just $1, and each day there are over 1,000 autographed items available, so you win signed authentic signatures at affordable prices. Just last week, an autographed Justin Herbert jersey sold for just $110. What? That's crazy! Deals like this are happening all the time on pristineauction.com, and they have just about every player you could possibly want, including Tom Brady, Mahomes, and so many more. Every item on Pristine Auction comes with a certification of authenticity from the industry's most reputable authenticators, and you can upgrade your collection of signed memorabilia today and get $10 off your first item when you use the code FANTASY. Again, that's one word, just FANTASY. To be sure to sign up now at pristineauction.com/register. So here's what you do. You go to pristineauction.com/register and use that promo code FANTASY, one word FANTASY, because there are deals ending every single day that you're missing out on right now. So go get to it. Again, that's code FANTASY for $10 off your first piece of signed memorabilia at pristineauction.com/register. And now, back to the action. Number 5 on the countdown of risers, Ramone Stevenson, New England Patriots running back. I've seen spots where Ramone Stevenson lately is being drafted over Damien Harris, and I think that's a little bullish, but the point is being taken right now. He has cracked the top 100 in ADP, and a lot of the news coming around the Patriots camp is he is the better all-purpose back. Now, Damien Harris isn't going away, at least not anytime soon, but Ramone Stevenson's ability to catch the football, the bigger body type, and the goal line work potentially going his way are all reasons to be very bullish on Ramone Stevenson in 2022. He certainly has a chance next year as well in keeper formats to be a guy you want to get now at a cheaper cost, because with the backfield potentially to himself next year in 2023, Stevenson could be a really good return on that 92 overall ADP. After appearing in 12 games last year, he rushed 133 times for 606 yards and 5 touchdowns, and that might just be scratching the surface of how good Ramone Stevenson could be in year 2 for the Patriots. Number 4 on our list of fallers, it's Breece Hall, New York Jets running back. Now, undoubtedly, Breece Hall is the most talented running back on the roster of the New York Jets. The question is, with Michael Carter currently ahead of him on the depth chart in theory, how much is Michael Carter going to cut into the early workload of Breece Hall? Is this going to be a 50-50 split? And if so, how long is it going to be that? And if so, what does that mean for our fantasy teams if we invest in Breece Hall too highly over the first few weeks of the season? What does that do? That's a lot of worries, a lot of concerns. Now, I still believe in talent winning out, and I believe in the long-term upside of Breece Hall even in 2022. But right now, currently as RB17, that should give you pause. He has fallen a little bit in drafts recently, and rightfully so, as guys like Travis Etienne and AJ Dillon have gone past him in many drafts I've been in. However, Breece Hall is still a good investment. I would take advantage of the fall because I do think it's a temporary one. However, understand that Breece Hall might be a little bit more volatile of an asset than we thought just a month ago. Number 3 on our countdown, he's a riser. He's Chase Edmonds, Miami Dolphins running back. With Sony Michel being shown the door in Miami, well, it's time for Chase Edmonds to now step up. We've heard in the past that he can handle the starting running back position, and now we're going to get to find out. Currently being drafted around 60 overall as RB26, you've got a real opportunity here with Chase Edmonds to get a nice return on your investment. Yes, Raheem Mostert's still around. With his injury history, I wouldn't get too excited about what he might be able to bring to this backfield, regardless of familiarity with the coaching staff. And yes, Myles Gaskin is still around too, but Chase Edmonds was sought after. He was the guy that they acquired. he's the guy you're looking for to lead this backfield at the very least, and probably get some goal line work as well. So Chase Edmonds can catch the ball, Chase Edmonds can score, Chase Edmonds can be a really nice addition. Even though he's starting to fly up draft boards, he hasn't flown enough considering the upside of opportunity that he brings in 2022. Number 2 on our countdown, he's a faller. He's Traylon Burks, wide receiver of the Tennessee Titans. Traylon Burks had a wonderful college career and now has been drafted as the heir apparent to A.J. Brown in Tennessee. The only problem is the preseason hasn't really gone his way. He's dealt with a wrist issue. He's also dealt with some performance issues as well. Even though he looked a tad better in the final preseason game, Traylon Burks is still a rookie, and a rookie whose draft stock is going in the wrong direction. Now, that can be a good thing in deeper leagues, but in more shallow leagues, you just don't have to take that risk. He's currently going around ADP of 120. That's an investment where you look around the other names available, and there's certainly other guys like Sky Moore, other players like George Pickens who might offer a little bit more immediate gratification, especially in an offense like Tennessee that is going to ground and pound with a lot of Derrick Henry running the football. So just keep in mind, even though Traylon Burks has fallen down the depth chart, he shouldn't fall out of your consciousness, but he should probably fall down your draft board because now there's some real questions as to how long it's going to take Traylon Burks to make an impact in his rookie season for the Tennessee Titans, which means he might not make an impact at any point in time this year for you and your fantasy team. That brings us to number 1 in our countdown, the biggest riser so far in ADP over the last 2 months heading into fantasy draft season, Damien Pierce, Houston Texans running back. Rookie Damien Pierce has gotten so much hype and buzz, yet even though he has risen in ADP, it might not be high enough. RB32 currently in half PPR in FantasyPros, 78th overall player. If you're telling me with a pick later in the 6th or 7th round, I could potentially in a draft get a full 3-down bell cow running back who's got power, who's got size, who's got speed, who's got the total package, yeah, it's not the greatest offense, but who cares? If you're giving me all the carries and all the upside there, Damien Pierce is a guy that you could probably plug in right now as an RB2, but he's being drafted as an RB3 despite moving basically 10 spots in the RB position over the last week. He was around 42 or 45. Now we're looking at him as RB32 after a tremendous preseason with a lot of positive news and a lot of positive praise coming from the coaching staff of the Houston Texans. It is wheels up for Damien Pierce, and the best thing is, because he plays for the Texans, because he's a rookie, he's probably still not high enough on draft boards on a lot of your host sites. So take advantage of that ADP, hit wide receivers early, and then turn around and get Damien Pierce to make up for that deficit at running back right now, and then you'll be happy that you watched this video. Well, there you have it. Those are the names of all the top 10 risers and fallers in fantasy football. Who are the names on your list that's rising up your board or maybe going in the opposite direction? Boo, let me know. I want to hear. And when you comment on the video and you're a subscriber, don't forget, that means you might be able to win that Keenan Allen jersey thanks to our friends at PristineAuction.com. Pristine Auction is the coolest place to find all your memorabilia and autographed swag, so go check it out. But make sure you like this video, share, and subscribe. And if you leave a comment below here, you just might be the winner of that Keenan Allen jersey. That'll do it for me, Joey P. We'll see you next time, kids.
Thanks for tuning in to the Fantasy Pros YouTube channel. Don't forget to check out our featured videos. And while you're at it, make sure to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Fantasy Pros, so you can get the latest news and updates to give you the edge you need in your fantasy league.